In this session, we will be learning how to create or edit information in the interest section of the business rules. You can find the interest section by going to business rules in the top left-hand corner, clicking on it, and again with the editing of other business rules, we need to make sure and choose a region. We will choose Nevada as usual. We need to again make sure that we are working with a specific store, or if you're just working with a region, that's fine. And then choose which loan type you're going to work with. For this tutorial, we'll be working with payday loans, and we'll head over to installment loans a little later in the video to show you the difference between installment and payday. Once you're satisfied with the region, store, and loan type, go ahead and click on region rules, or if it for you says corporate rules, choose that. But that'll be right here under loan rules. Click on it and scroll down just a couple boxes to the subheading interest. And here's where we will start our work. First, we will be working with interest calculated. At this point, you must first decide whether or not you are going to decide to apply your interest rate daily or apply it once per loan period. Now, this part is simple, but you need to first choose how and when you're going to apply the interest rate to the loan. The interest after due simply means if always is selected, this option will apply interest always when a loan is in a past due status or if an extension is asked for. If you select never, the additional interest will never apply if a payment is missed or if an extension is given. Interest will not be accrued. So go ahead and, since we're going daily, might as well have our interest accrued always. And when we talk about interest after rounding, round down means that interest is always rounded down. Standard interest will be rounded up or down based on the decimal amount. So we will go ahead and leave it on standard, meaning if it is 3.5%, you'll round up to 4%. But if it's below 3.5, then you'll round down to just 3%. The interest discount. To apply an interest discount on interest rates based on selected criteria, example, apply X% of a discount on interest after X amount of payments are made on or before the due date, or apply X% of discount on interest and limit the discount based on a percentage of the principal due. So we could say we'll make it 5% after 2 on-time payments if the payment is on or 15 days before the due date and the principal due is greater than $100. The zero interest rate, meaning past due, this sets the interest rate charged to the customer at 0% for X amount of days past due. So we'll say if it is 4 days past due, there's 0% of interest paid on that. For days after loan origination date, this sets the interest rate charged to the customer's principal balance to 0% after X amount of days of the loan origination have passed. So we'll, for this, go ahead and set 10 days after the loan origination date is over, there will be 0 interest paid. For the last row here, blank days after original due date, this means that this will set the interest rate charged to the customer's principal balance to 0% after X amount of days after the original due date. So for this, we'll go ahead and set 5 days after the original due date. So again, this 0 interest rate just resets the customer's interest rate due on the principal back to 0% after it has met this criteria. And you can choose whichever box you would like to fill out, be it one or all three. It's up to you. It can be handled according to your own set of business rules. Now, for this next part, we're going to go And things change a little bit when dealing with installment loans, and sometimes that confuses customers. But note that we just were handling payday loans, and when you're dealing with installment loans, you have an extra option here, and that is days after the maturity date. You can go ahead and change it for when dealing with an installment loan type. There's 0 interest rate, so this drops the interest rate to 0 after the maturity date has been reached, and it's been X amount of days after that date was reached. Again, note that for this you can choose always, never, or after the extension. In the case of installment loans, always means that the loan will accrue interest regardless of the active or inactive status of the loan. Never means that the loan will accrue interest only if the customer is active. And if you choose after extension, that means that interest will be accrued on the account only if the customer has had an extension and goes past due. So you can see that is a little bit different when working with an installment loan, but still easy to understand. So we'll go ahead, and that was our rules set for installment loan. If we are satisfied with that, scroll to the bottom and click on Update Rules. We're all set. Simply, that is how to adjust your interest rates and rules under the Business Rules section. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to watch other tutorials or contact our support team. Thank you for watching.